Heartwarming rescue. 8-year-old girl's tearful plea reveals incredible millionaire's life-changing transformation. In the heart of a cozy suburban neighborhood, where laughter echoed from every front yard and the sun hugged the pavement, little Lily Harris stumbled upon a sight that twisted her heart: an abandoned puppy, trembling and alone behind the playground. The world seemed to blur as she knelt beside the fragile creature, her eyes filling with tears. "Don't worry," she whispered, gently lifting the puppy into her arms. "I'll save you." The warmth of her heart ignited a fierce hope for both the puppy's future and her own, even as the shadows of struggle loomed in the backdrop of her modest home. When Lily rushed through the door, the sight of her single mother, Emma, weary from long hours of work, made her heart race.
"Mom,"
she cried, breathless with urgency. "You have to help me. There's a puppy he's all alone." Emma looked into her daughter's excited eyes, recognizing the burning passion but also the financial reality smothering their small family. A flicker of hope sparked within her, but fear quickly dampened it. They were barely making ends meet as it was. "Sweetheart, another mouth to feed." Emma hesitated, pain in her voice. Lily's heart sank. The unconditional love between them was forged from struggle, but Emma's worry crushed that beautiful connection, even for a fleeting moment. Just as doubt crept in, fate intervened in the form of Ethan Caldwell. A multi-millionaire reclusive as a shadow, he observed their exchange from a distance, his heart secretly yearning for a connection he'd long denied himself. When Lily decided to gather supplies on her mission to care for the puppy, she unknowingly crossed paths with Ethan in the hardware aisle. The moment their eyes met was electric, a spark igniting their fates. Ethan felt a flicker of life in her bright smile, and for the first time in years, he was reminded of the joys he had forsaken. But when Lily brought Ethan home, Emma's fears bloomed like wildflowers. "Stay away from him, Lily. Wealth complicates everything." The weight of Emma's prejudices hovered, creating a rift between the innocent brightness of her daughter's spirit and the shadows adult burdens cast. Mounting challenges began to unfold like dark clouds, with Lily's puppy darting out of sight, the neighborhood gossip swirling like wind, and whispers bouncing through the air. Yet, forged by the burning desire to reunite the puppy with its safe haven, the community rallied like never before, fueled by Lily's courage. With bake sales and search parties, they created a whirlwind of support while Ethan fought his own battles, one against the stigma of his prosperity. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. As the community's spirit soared, so did Lily's hope. Yet as they grew closer to finding the puppy, a tragic misunderstanding threatened to break apart the bond they shared. Emma's fear, Ethan's quiet desperation, and Lily's bright, pure optimism collided in a moment that would determine their fates. Would they find the healing power of empathy in time? Would compassion bridge the gap between two worlds for one innocent puppy? As darkness loomed over their journey, hearts hung in the balance, wondering if second chances would emerge from the shadows of doubt. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, casting a warm glow around the cluttered living room. Lily sat cross-legged on the floor, her heart racing. Spread before her was a colorful array of reports from the neighbors, each with ideas and plans to help find the puppy. In that moment, the world felt right. The magical spirit of community embraced her, offering hope that felt almost tangible. "Look, Mom," she squeaked, her eyes shining with excitement as she pointed at a particularly encouraging note. Emma stood at the kitchen counter, pouring herself a cup of lukewarm coffee, the fatigue etched on her face still lingering. She glanced over, a small smile breaking through her worries as she read the words of encouragement. "Sounds like everyone's willing to pitch in," Emma acknowledged, though her voice wavered with uncertainty. But we still have to be careful, Lily. I worry, please, Mom. You can't worry all the time. Lily interjected, a hint of frustration creeping into her usually gentle tone. Ethan can help us. He wants to. He's trying to be part of this. Emma sighed, the weight of their reality pressing down. I don't want you to get hurt. He's wealthy, and people like him don't understand our world. Her voice faded, but Lily heard the concern. Suddenly, a knock at the door jolted them both. Lily's heart jumped. Is it him? Without waiting for an answer, she dashed to open it. Standing on the porch was Ethan, a slight smile on his face, but the anxiety in his eyes told a different story. Hey, Lily. I brought some supplies. He held up a bag filled with treats, a toy, and a soft blanket. I thought I could help you take care of, what's his name? Buddy. Lily shouted, looking back at Emma for permission. Emma stood there, her arms crossed defensively. We can't keep the puppy, Ethan, she stated, her tone firm. Why not? Ethan asked, his voice laced with genuine perplexity. I want to help. You must understand this isn't just about money. I know how it feels to desire companionship. Lily's face lit up with hope. See, Mom? He understands. We can find Buddy together. We don't have to be alone in this. Emma felt the tug-of-war within her heart. The warmth of Lily's joy met the chill of her protective instincts. This isn't just a game, she finally murmured, uncertain of what would come next. There was a sincerity in Ethan's eyes that suggested he wanted more than just to play hero. But just as hope began weaving its way through their fragile tapestry, the community's excitement was met by the hard reality of rumors breathing life into the shadows. It happened quickly. A neighbor, curious about the growing presence of Ethan, crossed paths with Emma in the grocery store. I saw that millionaire hanging around her daughter. You should keep an eye on her, the neighbor whispered, trying to sound concerned, but the judgment in her voice cut deeper. We don't need his kind meddling in our lives. Emma's heart sank. What if she loves that dog more than what it costs us to keep it? What if this complicates our lives more than we can handle? Meanwhile, Lily and Ethan were deep in planning their next move, blissfully unaware of the tensions swirling just outside their bubble. They set out, hands clasped, hearts full of determination, ready to unite their worlds. Each step echoed with the promise of a happy ending. Just as they began to feel invincible together, a sudden rustling in the nearby bushes sent their hearts racing. Buddy? Lily called, hopeful yet anxious. In that moment, a pair of shiny eyes emerged from the underbrush, but they belonged to a creature far bigger than either of them anticipated. Lily! Get back! Ethan shouted, instinctively stepping forward. And just like that, their hearts hung in the balance, teetering on the edge of the unknown. Would they face the danger ahead together, or would fear tear them apart? Lily's heart raced as she peered into the shadowy underbrush. The creature stepped forward, revealing a wild-eyed deer, its large frame far more intimidating than the puppy they had been searching for. It stood frozen, nostrils flaring, processing the unusual sight before it. For a moment, the world around them faded, filled only with the sounds of rustling leaves and the distant chirps of summer insects. Ethan instinctively reached for Lily's hand, pulling her back a step. See? It's scared, he whispered, his voice low but steady. Let us give it space. But Lily, drawn by an overwhelming compassion, took a small step forward. It's lost too, she said quietly, her gaze locked on the eyes of the deer, searching for understanding. Lily, Ethan urged softly, we can't approach it too quickly. We have to let it decide. Just then, a branch snapped nearby, causing the deer to bolt into the deeper woods. The moment shattered like a glass window, leaving a lingering ache in the pit of their stomachs. I didn't mean to frighten it, Lily sighed, her voice barely above a whisper. Just like Buddy, Ethan watched her, his heart aching for her disappointment. It's okay. We'll still find him. Remember the plan? Lily nodded, returning to her resolute stance. The deer had momentarily reminded her of the importance of patience, of understanding those who felt lost. You're right. We'll be careful, she replied, determination shining in her eyes once more. They continued down the narrow path leading through the park, surrounded by towering trees and flowers blooming vibrantly. For a moment, the weight of Emma's fears and the judgments from the neighbors were distant memories. Here it was just them working together. Okay, so what's next? Ethan asked, pulling out his phone. Let us use social media. We can post the cute picture of Buddy I took last week. That's a great idea, Lily exclaimed, her excitement bubbling back to life. Everyone can share it. Maybe someone has seen him. As Ethan crafted the post, Lily became lost in thought. Her mind drifted to the stories Emma shared about their neighbors helping one another during hard times, a sense of unity that reminded her of family. Do you think Buddy is scared? She asked suddenly, interrupting their focus. Ethan paused, a moment of reflection playing across his features. Maybe. But dogs are resilient. He'll be all right. Lily's bright smile returned but was soon tempered by the shadow of worry creeping back in. What if he finds someone else? What if they take him in? Ethan dropped his phone, his expression serious. He wouldn't forget you, Lily. You're his person. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes. A sudden need to cry washed over her. The connection they shared was so deep, one she had never realized until this moment. I don't want to lose him. Or you. Hey, he said softly, crouching down to her level and meeting her gaze. You won't lose either of us. We're in this together. They lingered in that moment, a fragile bond growing stronger around raw emotions and shared dreams. Just as they started walking again, another sound echoed through the trees, a bark, sharp and clear. That sounded like Buddy. Lily gasped, her heart accelerating. Ethan stood up, eyes wide. Let us go. They sprinted towards the sound, but as they ran, doubts crept in again, shadows of uncertainty gnawing at Lily's resolve. Could they really find him? Would it all be worth it in the end? Each hurried step felt heavier, laden with the weight of what they both knew was at stake. Ahead of them, the foliage stirred again as another figure broke free, a small, scruffy puppy, dirty and bedraggled, running into the clearing, tail wagging madly. Buddy! Lily screamed, pure elation in her voice. But as she rushed forward, another creature emerged behind the puppy, and it was bigger, far more menacing than the dear Lily. Wait! Ethan shouted, fear etched on his face. In that heartbeat, everything seemed to freeze, leaving the next move teetering on the edge of danger. Would they embrace this moment with hope or face a harsh reality? Lily's feet skidded to a halt, her heart hammering in her chest as she froze at the sight before her. The creature looming behind Buddy was a large, growling dog with matted fur and fierce eyes. It stood tall, muscles tensed, making the scene feel surreal. Fear flooded through her, squeezing her heart like a vice. Buddy, she shouted again, but her voice trembled, echoing her uncertainty. Ethan's hand gripped her shoulder firmly. Stay back, Lily. We need to think. Buddy, oblivious to the danger, bounded toward the barking dog, his tail wagging with pure delight. But Lily's body was locked in place, a cocktail of fear and love brewing inside her. The sight of her puppy, so close yet so far, stirred something primal within her. The larger dog barked again, snapping at Buddy, who yelped and skidded to a stop. The two dogs faced off, body language shifting from playful to hostile in seconds. Come on, Buddy. Come to me, she pleaded, her voice urgent and sharp. Ethan stepped forward, instinct kicking in. He raised his hands, palms out, as if to defuse the situation. Hey, easy there. We're not going to hurt you, he called to the aggressive dog, his tone steadier than he felt. He looked back at Lily, eyes wide with worry. They could lose everything, Buddy, their hopes, even their courage. We have to scare the other dog away, he whispered. We can't let it hurt Buddy. The larger dog lunged, growling fiercely as it faced off against the smaller puppy, who was still trying to play. Lily's heart shattered at the thought of her best friend being cornered like this. She took a deep breath and yelled louder than before. Buddy, come here, please. To her sheer relief, the scruffy puppy's ears perked up. He glanced back at her, uncertainty flickering across his face. But then, leaving the tense situation behind, he made a beeline toward her, tail like a happy little flag. Yes. Good boy. Buddy. But the other dog wasn't he about to give up so easily. It lunged forward, fangs bared and sounds of aggression boiling out in the hot summer air.
No. No.
Ethan cried, moving quickly to block the larger dog's path. He staggered, trying to find anything. In a split second, he spotted a stick nearby. He grabbed it and brandished it like a sword. Get out of here. The larger dog hesitated, confusion dancing across its features as it assessed the confrontation. Lily, back up. Ethan shouted, planting his feet firmly, grappling for control of the moment. Lily did as told, but remained rooted with panic. She couldn't lose him again. Desperate, she reached down and picked up a piece of the fallen stick, tossing it into the woods. Go play. Go find it. As if compelled to chase, the aggressive dog darted after the thrown stick, leaving Buddy and Lily behind. The moment hung in the air, filled with heavy breaths and the shock of what had just transpired. Lily, are you okay? Ethan asked, turning to her, concern etched in his gaze. I'm all right now, she breathed, her heart still racing. She knelt down, scooping Buddy into her arms, feeling a rush of relief wash over her like a fresh spring rain. Tears of joy glistened in her eyes. We found him. Ethan smiled, the weight of fear slowly lifting. Yeah, we did. You were amazing. But as they embraced that joyful reunion, a low growl rippled back through the trees. The bigger dog was returning, the fierce look back in its eyes. Before they could react, it charged toward them, and the exultation of their reunion quickly turned to dread. Ethan. Lily's voice rose in panic. This time, they wouldn't just be fighting for Buddy. They were fighting for each other. What could they do to save themselves and the little puppy? Lily drew in a shaky breath as the growl filled the air again, deep and sinister. Time seemed to slow as panic crept into her bones. Around her, the world blurred. The trees turned into a thick backdrop of impending doom. Lily, stay back. Ethan shouted once more, his voice stern yet laced with fear. He took a protective step in front of her, brandishing the stick like it was the only thing keeping them safe. The dog's muscles coiled like a spring, its eyes locked onto the pair, tuning into the vulnerability in their stance. Every instinct shouted that they had to run. But where? How could they leave Buddy behind? Heart pounding, Lily tightened her grip on the puppy, cradling him close. Buddy whimpered softly, sensing the rising tension. With knitted brows, Ethan searched for anything more they could do. His gaze swept the clearing, then back at the dog, whose growls intensified. Lily, listen to me. It's about to charge. I'm going to throw this. He glanced at the stick in his hand, dramatic in its simplicity. As far as I can. When it goes, we make a run for it, okay?
Got it?
Lily nodded, though her throat felt constricted. What if it doesn't chase? It has to. He met her gaze firmly, determination masking his fear. We have to trust it will. Ethan raised the stick high, muscles tensing like a coiled spring, and hurled it deep into the woods. For a brief moment, silence captivated the air, hanging oddly heavy. But then the dog shifted its focus, darting toward the distraction with a fierce snarl. Now, Lily.
Go.
Without another thought, she bolted forward, her legs pumping against the earth as if gravity itself held no weight. The adrenaline surged through her body, driving her faster. Buddy wiggled in her arms, his warm little body a comforting presence amidst chaos. Ethan trailed behind, keeping pace. They navigated through the underbrush, branches scraping against their arms, but there was no stopping now. She could hear the bush behind them rustling, barking echoing in pursuit, raw and unyielding. Is it behind us? She gasped, breathless. I don't know. Ethan shot back, determination stamped across his face. Every step felt like a lifetime. They couldn't afford to lose ground now. They had come so close. Suddenly, a loud snap of a branch broke through the tension as the bigger dog reappeared. The rage ignited again. It barreled through the thick brush, eyes locked on them, even quicker than before.
Run.
Ethan shouted once more, his voice urgent. They surged forward, the world narrowing around them. The only sound was their frantic footfalls and Buddy's tiny gasps. Just ahead, a clearing offered a glimpse of their salvation. Ethan! The fence! She pointed, hope flickering in her chest. There it was, a sturdy wooden barrier half hidden in the undergrowth. They had to make it. It was their only chance at safety.
We can do it,
he urged, eyes fierce with courage. They sprinted toward the fence, their hearts pounding, knowing behind them, the bigger dog was closing in fast. They leaped, limbs stretching, and thud. Lily landed hard against the wooden fence, skin grazing against it, but she scrambled back to her feet. Ethan was right on her heels, hoisting Buddy higher to protect him. Quick, under the fence, Ethan instructed. With one swift maneuver, they dove beneath the wooden slats just as the growl erupted behind them again, echoing in their ears like a distant thunderstorm. They emerged on the other side, breathless and wide-eyed. But the moment of relief shattered when they turned to see the dog barreling toward them. It skidded to a stop right at the fence, snarling, teeth bared, muscles tense and ready to pounce again. What do we do? Lily gasped, heart pounding a frantic rhythm. Ethan glanced around, searching for something, anything. They couldn't stay here, and they couldn't fight. There had to be a way, but as he searched, a shadow flickered behind the angry dog. A tall figure emerged, and realization struck them. They were not alone anymore.
Hey,
get back. The voice was deep, commanding, and filled with authority. Lily's heart raced anew. Who was this? Would it help, or make things worse? Before they could process, the reality of their savior loomed closer. Is everything all right? The stranger asked, eyes darting to the frantic dog, and then to Lily and Ethan. They exchanged glances, and dread lingered in the air between them. Who are you? Ethan managed, still panting heavily, his grip tight around Buddy. The stranger stepped further into view, revealing a tall man with a kind face and steady eyes. His hair was tousled by the wind, and he wore a loose flannel shirt, probably too big for him, which gave him an air of casual confidence. He was like a beacon amid the chaos. I'm Sam, he said, his voice calm, and you two are safe now. That dog won to get through the fence. Trust me. Lily glanced at the snarling hound behind them, its fury directed at the stranger now, and her heart did a little flip. But it's angry, she said, clutching Buddy tighter to her chest, feeling his little heart race alongside hers. I know, Sam said, kneeling slightly, so he was more at their level. But it's just scared.
I can handle it.
We can't stay here, Ethan exclaimed, urgency creeping back into his voice. It'll jump over. I'll handle that. Just follow my lead, Sam assured, rolling up his sleeves as he turned toward the dog. Wait, what are you going to do? Lily asked, her stomach churning with a mixture of hope and fear. Sam didn't respond, his focus shifting entirely to the dog. He took a few cautious steps toward the snarling creature. It paced furiously, jaws snapping as if testing the resolve of the fence. With confidence that defied logic, Sam crouched down and threw out his arms wide.
Hey.
Easy, Buddy. He called out, his tone soothing. Look at me. You're all right, I promise. Is he crazy? Ethan whispered, panic bubbling in his voice.
Sure.
Lily shot back, unwilling to divert Sam's attention from the furious dog. Sam didn't move, staying calm and grounded as he locked eyes with the creature. Slowly, Lily watched as the dog's growl softened, its tension easing as it resumed a more curious stance rather than an aggressive one.
See?
Sam said without looking back. Yes, just scared. Just like you were. In a moment that felt like an eternity, the storm of anger in the dog's eyes started to fade, replaced by uncertainty. The growls turned to whimpers, and it stepped back, nostrils flaring as it caught Sam's scent. With a gentle voice, Sam continued, That's it, Buddy. No harm here. Lily caught her breath. Sam's calming presence was unreal. Her hands relaxed, and she felt courage rising in her chest. Maybe they had found a safe harbor after all. After a few more agonizing seconds, the dog shifted sideways, then turned its back to Sam, panting heavily as if conceding the encounter. There, see? Just takes patience, Sam said, finally turning back toward them with a smile. But before Lily could respond, a loud crashing sound broke through the tense air. Out of the underbrush emerged another dog, smaller, covered in dirt, yet seemingly playful. It raced towards Sam, tail wagging. Confusion mixed with relief washed over Lily and Ethan. What was happening?
Whoa, easy there.
Sam laughed, the playful pup now leaping around his legs. Amid the barking, Lily could hardly believe her eyes. Had Sam tamed the furious dog? What just happened? Ethan stammered, glancing between Sam and the now-reforming canine. They need help, Sam explained simply, pointing to the newly arrived pup. And I think we might be able to make a difference together. Lily's heart leaped. Could they really help? Could something beautiful come out of this confusion? Before she could even grasp the answer, a deep growl rippled from the first dog again, tension thickening the air once more. Wait, Lily said, throwing a glance at Sam. Do you think we can really help them? But as she stepped forward with growing hope, the shadows of uncertainty loomed once again. The scene was set, but the question loomed. What would happen next? Would they truly be enough to change the outcome for these lost souls? The pressure of the moment hung thick, waiting for a decision to be made. Sam took a deep breath, that calm energy radiating from him like sunlight breaking through dark clouds. The small playful pup continued to dance around his feet, but the bigger dog, the scared one, was still uncertain, its growls echoing in the sudden silence that fell over them. Lily exchanged glances with Ethan. Could they really help? What if it just got worse again? Fear crept back into her chest, constricting her. What do we do? Ethan asked, his voice barely above a whisper. His hand still gripped Buddy, who was now whimpering softly, sensing the tension. First, we need to gain their trust, Sam replied, crouching back down to meet the frightened dog's gaze once more.
Just like how I reached out to him.
I need both of you to stay calm. Dogs can sense fear. The urgency in his voice snapped Lily back. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Okay, let us try. Right, Ethan nodded, slowly inching closer. What do you want us to do? Get some treats from your pockets, Sam said, glancing back at them. If you have any. It'll help break the ice. Lily felt her heart racing, her fingers fumbling at her jacket pocket. She pulled out the last 2 dog treats she had left from their outing earlier that day. She handed one to Ethan, who was slightly more reluctant, but nodded all the same. On 3, Sam instructed, looking at them both. 1, 2, 3. They tossed the treats gently, aiming for the ground near the big dog. It hesitated, its growls reducing to low whimpers again, its eyes darting between Sam and the offerings. Slowly, tentatively, it took a step forward. Good boy, Sam encouraged softly, still kneeling. That's right, no need to be afraid. The playful pup barked excitedly, prancing around while the first dog edged forward, nose sniffing. Moments passed like hours. Lily held her breath, as if time had paused. Then, with a flicker of courage, the bigger dog leaned down and devoured the treat, its eyes widening in surprise. Relief washed over Lily as she saw the tiniest glimmer of trust starting to form.
See?
Sam smiled, glancing back at them. It's working. Lily felt a warmth spread through her. Maybe they could do something after all. Sam was right. They just needed to be brave.
Now talk to him, Sam suggested.
Tell him he is safe. Lily swallowed hard, stepping forward slightly. You're safe now. We're not here to hurt you, she said softly, her voice shaky but firm. We just want to help you. Ethan chimed in, yeah, buddy. We're friends. You're okay. The dog cautiously moved closer still, its back straightening, and with every step it took, Lily's heart lifted higher. That fear she had felt moments before began to dissolve, replaced with hope lighting a path ahead.
Just keep talking to him, Sam said.
You've got this. The bigger dog sniffed curiously at Buddy, who wagged his tail friendly, as if to say, I understand. Suddenly, the calm puppet came alive as the first dog finally let out a soft bark, shuffling forward more confidently, and Lily couldn't help but smile. "What's next?" Ethan asked, excitement bubbling in his voice. Sam's eyes glinted with warmth as he looked between the kids and the two dogs. "Now we start building a bond. There's more to these two than meets the eye. We'll need to gain their full trust, and that will take time." Lily's excitement began to mix with a heavier realization. "You mean this isn't just going to be easy?" "A bond like this takes commitment," Sam replied, his gaze steady. "Just like people and their fears." As she looked at the dog now sniffing her shoe, Lily felt the weight of responsibility settle on her, a feeling both daunting and rewarding. "Are we up for the challenge?" she said, glancing back at Ethan. Ethan grinned, determination written across his face. "Absolutely." But just as they began to feel a sense of triumph, a loud crash echoed from the direction the first dog had emerged from, causing them all to turn in sudden horror.
What was that?
Lily gasped, heart sinking as the previous chaos threatened to surge back into their moment. Sam's expression darkened as he glanced toward the sound, tension creeping back in once more. "I don't know, but we must be ready for anything." The newfound connection with the dogs faded slightly into the background as the uncertainty loomed, provoking questions that were yet to be answered. What was lurking in the dense underbrush? Would their newfound trust be enough to face whatever challenges lay ahead? The underbrush stirred again, the noise louder this time. The playful pup growled softly, tension radiating from its small frame. Lily's heart raced as she glanced at Sam. He maintained his calm, but she could see the lines of worry etched on his face. "Stay close," Sam whispered, and without thinking, Lily instinctively stepped nearer to Ethan. The frightened dog retreated behind its smaller companion, eyes wide and fearful.
What was that?
Ethan echoed her earlier question, his voice shaky. "I don't know," Sam answered, eyes scanning their surroundings. "But we need to stay aware." The air was thick with dread. Each rustle of leaves echoed like thunder in the silence after the crash. Lily could feel her heart pounding in her chest, each beat chanting a quiet what if, each one heavier than the last.
But the dogs needed them. They were counting on them.
Sam slowly rose to his feet, taking another deep breath. "We need to focus on the dogs. If they sense our fear, it could make things worse," he said, his voice steady despite the tension. Lily nodded, forcing a smile at the bigger dog, who was still peering out from behind the lively pup, trembling slightly. "You're okay. We're not going anywhere," she crooned. But before she could say more, the bushes parted violently, revealing a scruffy figure, wild-eyed and panting, limping toward them. "Help,
please."
It was a man disheveled and frantic. I need to hide." The two dogs, once calm around the children, barked loudly, tails tucked. The energy shifted instantly. Lily's heart sank. This wasn't what she imagined. What happened? Sam stepped forward, holding his hands in the air, signaling to the man that he meant no harm. "There's something back there," the man gasped, pointing into the thicket. "I was out for a hike and sure." "It's okay," Sam said, trying to soothe him, but Lily could see panic flickering behind his eyes too. Ethan tugged at Lily's arm. Should we run?" he whispered, fear creeping back into his voice. "No," Sam said firmly, yet with a gentle tone. "We can't abandon them." He glanced back at the scared dogs. "They need us. Their trust's still fragile." Lily took a step closer to the man, something inside her stirring. "What's coming?"
"Can we help you?"
she bravely asked, though her voice trembled. The man swallowed hard, eyes darting as if seeking an invisible threat. "I don't know what it is, but it's big. My friends, we were camping and they didn't make it back." I saw at the shape in the darkness. The words sent chills down her spine. The journey that had started with puppy love had now taken a turn into something frightening. But looking at the big dog, trembling at her feet, Lily felt a flicker of resolve. "We can't let fear control us," she murmured mostly to herself, but loud enough for the others to hear.
"What?" Ethan asked, confusion rushing over his features. "We need to stick together,"
Lily replied, her voice more assured now. We've built something here.
Trust and courage. We can't run.
We have to protect them. Ethan's brows furrowed in concern. Are we in this together? She asked, looking between Sam and Ethan. Yes, Sam said almost immediately, determination lighting up his face. Ethan, hesitant at first, took a breath and nodded. I guess together, he said, his voice steadying as conviction warmed his heart. The man's eyes widened as if seeing hope reflected in their stance. You're braver than I was, he muttered, catching his breath. Suddenly, another crash came from the darkness of the trees, louder this time, accompanied by a low growl that sent shivers through Lily. The dogs barked fiercely, ready to protect their newfound friends.
What is that?
Ethan squeaked, stepping back. Lily's heart sank again, but she clutched a dog treat in her hand, an unexpected symbol of their connection. Could they truly face this unknown? In that moment, she knew they would have to dig deeper than ever before, not just for the dogs, but for each other as well.
What now?
She whispered, her voice still steady despite the fear clawing at her. Sam turned to her, eyes fierce.
We
face it together. As shadows crept closer, the challenge loomed ahead, leaving Lily with more questions than answers. What were they truly up against, and could they emerge on the other side? Each heartbeat felt like a countdown to the unknown. The moments seemed to stretch into eternity. The dark thicket loomed ominously, and each sound echoed like a warning. Ethan shifted nervously, his small body trembling beside Lily. She could see the fear etched across his face, yet there was a spark of something else, the flicker of courage that she hoped she could fan into a flame. Stay focused, Sam urged, bringing his gaze back to the man. What is chasing you? Can we prepare? As the man struggled to catch his breath, he looked at them with wide, frantic eyes. It was massive.
A shadow.
It moved fast, and didn't he make a sound until it was too close. A roar echoed through the trees, vibrating in Lily's chest, cutting him off mid-sentence. The dogs stiffened, their energy shifting from fright to instinctive bravery, their growls deepening. Okay, we need to stand firm, Lily's voice rang out, surprising even her. She stepped slightly in front of the trembling pup, making herself their shield. Lily, Ethan started, but she shot him a look that spoke volumes. We're in this together, she insisted, her heart pooling with resolve. Sam caught her gaze, and the shared determination sparked a power that made them all feel a little braver. What if we make noise? It might scare it away, he suggested, eyes darting around as they waited for another movement in the shadows. Yeah, let us show it we mean business. Ethan shouted, his voice louder now, fueled by adrenaline. On the count of 3, Sam said, taking charge. Ready? 1, 2, 3. They all yelled, the echoes bouncing off the trees. The dogs joined in, barking loudly, filling the air with a cacophony of sound. The man flinched, but stood his ground. For a moment, it seemed like nothing happened. Then, as if in response, the bushes shook violently again, and for a second, a shape emerged, a massive silhouette against the dark, moving faster than Lily could comprehend. Panic surged through her, tightening her throat. Whatever it was came closer, and she could make out glowing eyes, piercing in the sea of shadows. The fearful growls of the dogs were almost drowned out by her own heart thumping loudly in her ears. Get behind me, Sam ordered, stepping in front of the others, protective and fierce. Lily felt small, but something inside her roared to life. This wasn't just about fear, it was about standing firm for each other and the dogs that trusted them. As the shape fully emerged, they realized it wasn't just one creature, but several large, wild animals, their coats shining under the faint light filtering through the trees. They weren't there to threaten. They were curious, cautious, and just as startled by the presence of humans. What are they? Ethan stuttered, eyes wide with awe. Lily took a step forward, her curiosity overtaking her fear. They look like, but she didn't get to finish as the animals cautiously advanced, sniffing the air. They're not dangerous, Sam whispered, amazement softening his expression. The man beside them slowly relaxed, eyes filled with a mix of fear and wonder. Maybe they just want to know why we're here, Lily suggested, her heart steadying as she observed the creatures. She crouched down, holding out the dog treat as a peace offering. Who's brave enough to come closer? The biggest animal, a magnificent wolf with fur like deep winter, stepped forward. The light danced in its eyes, and for a terrifying moment, Lily forgot to breathe. But then she felt the warmth of the little pup nudging her leg, and it gave her the courage she needed. "Come on," she whispered. "We got this." To their astonishment, the wolf paused, then slowly approached. Sam, Ethan, and the man stared in disbelief, hearts racing now for an entirely different reason. Lily extended her hand, trembling yet hopeful. The treat clutched firmly. Would this connection heal their fear, or was there truly something more to this encounter? Just then, a rustle behind them pulled everyone's attention back to the thicket, causing their breath to hitch in their throats once more. What else lurked in the darkness, and could this pivotal moment change everything for them? Through the dense underbrush came a flash of movement, a smaller creature, darting closer, more curious than aggressive. As the others turned, their eyes widened. It was a puppy, scruffy and tiny, just like Buddy had been. The moment felt surreal, a convergence of lost souls and newfound hope. "Look at that little one!" Lily exclaimed, her voice a mix of excitement and disbelief. The pup bounded toward the wolf, as if sensing the bond between them. The wolf lowered its snout, welcoming the newcomer, and for a brief moment, they all stood united in awe. "Is this really happening?" Ethan whispered, eyes wide with wonder. "It is," Sam replied, feeling the ripples of connection tightening around them. "Maybe they want each other just like we want to help each other." Lily took a step forward, heart pounding with inspiration. "We need to help too." Her voice rang out brightly, contagious. She dropped to her knees, spreading her arms wide in invitation. "Let us see if they'll trust us. We're all lost here." Ethan knelt beside her, echoing her gesture. Slowly, all the fear of moments before began to dissolve, shades of hope painting the air like morning sunlight breaking through the clouds. The wolf tilted its head slightly, but didn't move away. The bond they were forging felt sacred amidst the chaos. "Just give them space," Sam advised, watching closely as the atmosphere shifted. "Trust takes time, but kindness? Kindness is immediate." The voices that once shunned the kids now felt distant. Nothing could break the powerful connection spiraling into life before them. Even the frantic man, edging closer, caught the pulse of magic transpiring. With resolve, he began to lower his defenses, breathing deeper, entranced by the spectacle. "I didn't think I'd ever see something like this," he murmured, his fear momentarily forgotten in awe. "Neither did I," Lily chimed, smiling back at him. "This is our chance to help them, just like we helped Buddy." As if responding to their energy, the wolf approached cautiously, brushing its fur gently against Lily's hand. She could feel the warmth radiating from its fur, and in an instant, her heart burst with compassion.
"See?"
She turned her gaze to Ethan, whose smile mirrored her own. They just needed someone to believe in them. The glowing moment deepened, pulling Buddy into the mix as he playfully nudged at the wolf's paws. It was as if he understood. This was family. Then, in a swift and stunning turn, the other wolf nudged the smaller puppy forward, inviting it to step closer. The last remnants of fear fell away, leaving only immeasurable connection and understanding that they were no longer alone. "Hey there, little one," Sam whispered as the tiny pup rushed to join Buddy, tumbling and playing amidst carefree barks and boundless joy. The shake of previous anxieties faded in that instant, replaced with feeling whole, a family created by circumstance, woven together through compassion. That became the spark igniting a wave of realization rippling through the group. Each connection was vital, each moment was integral, and they were all part of something far greater than themselves. "Maybe this time we could actually help them?" Ethan suggested, a glint of hope sparkling in his voice. "We could figure out a way to keep these guys safe. It's worth the effort," Lily agreed, her heart swelling. They deserve that love just like we do. And standing their lost dogs, frightened people, and hesitant hearts, they found unity. Where fear had once prevailed, there now blossomed the promise of new beginnings. With a decisive resolve, Sam took the first step forward. Let us build a sanctuary, a place where they can heal, just like we did, he said with quiet strength that echoed the heartbeat of the moment. Together, Lily beamed, hope aflame within her. It was now or never. She looked at her friends, at the animals, and knew this was the moment she'd always dreamed about, a real family built upon love and trust. Yes. Together, they echoed, voices rising like a chorus of triumph, sealing their pact as the sun dipped beneath the horizon, bathing them in warm light. In that small clearing, something beautiful began to grow, sparked by the unlikely. Now, this was not just a story of rescue, it was a testament to transformation. As they laughed and played, a new chapter unfolded for the critters and the humans alike, igniting an incredible journey ahead. Remember, life often gives us chances to choose compassion over fear. If you felt inspired by this journey, now is the time to take action. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss any exclusive stories that uplift and touch your heart. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us reach more people who need this kind of transformation in their lives. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this ending. We want to hear your thoughts. And finally, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second. Only true fans understand how crucial your support is for our community. Let us spread the love.